whoa, lashes. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Joyce here again for you guys today, talking about perfume. But today we're going to talk about a perfume house because I have quite a few from this perfume house and I figured it would be useful to somebody out there. So hopefully that's something that you're interested in. If you like the video, you should hit the like button. You should also subscribe to my page so you can see more videos about perfume, okay? And let's get into it. So the house that we're talking about today is Zadig Voltaire. Okay, I was pleasantly introduced to the brand through this particular fragrance right here. This is her. This is from Zadig Voltaire. This is her, and I picked up the 30ml. I actually picked this up through a blind buy, so I'll link that video up above. But I was inspired to pick this up by the fragrance community here. In particular, it's MJ. She had talked about it a few times and I was like, okay, let me just see what this is about. Now, the reason that she spoke about it was because it had like this creamy element to it, and you guys know, well, you should know by now, I'm super into creamy fragrances. So I picked it up and this is what it looks like. Kind of like an iceberg. I'm not too sure what the inspiration or the concept of the bottle is, but to me it reminds me of an iceberg because of how it's kind of like cut on this side, but it's cool. And also the packaging leans itself, I think, to the fact that this to me comes across as a very unisex fragrance. It really feels like it borders the line of male's fragrances and women's fragrances. Like, I feel like a guy can wear this, a girl can wear this. Now I will say this, I'm gonna pull up the notes real quick just so we can, you know, get all the admin out of the way. But in terms of how I'm faring with it at the moment, that's a slightly different story. So let's get into the notes. All right, so Fragrantica. The majority of people on Fragrantica describe this as a sweet vanilla lactonic fragrance. This released in 2016. This is her, contains notes of pink pepper, sambac, jasmine, milky chestnut cream, vanilla, and sandalwood. What really sold me or really got me into wanting to get this outside of the reviews, because there were some really good reviews for this, was the fact that it had sandalwood, which I like, creamy milky chestnut cream. I'd never really smelled that, but I was like, okay, I'm into it. Vanilla and jasmine, sambac jasmine, because those are some of my favorite notes. Now I'm gonna spray this on paper because it's unfortunate at the moment. This comes off as a very fresh fragrance to me. It's very clean. I categorize it in my so fresh and so clean kind of fragrances, and these are the ones that you wear that smell like you've taken a really fresh shower. So as soon as you spray this, people are going to be like, oh, you smell really clean, right? So it's got a fresh opening. It does have a very creamy mid. And I'm not sure if I pick up chestnut. I'm not too sure what chestnut would smell like, but I'm expecting there to be a little bit of dusty earthiness. And maybe I can pick up a little bit of something which is earthy, but I don't think it's the chestnut. But it definitely has a creamy mid. Now as it dries down, you get a lot of that sandalwood and you do get some vanilla. This is my recommendation with this one. Test it on your skin, because what it smells like on paper, as with most fragrances, but not all, but definitely the vanilla and the sandalwood in this on your skin is really what's gonna make or break the fragrance. And that's kind of where I'm at with this myself. When I spray this on my skin, I get so much of that sandalwood, it's ridiculous. Like, I like sandalwood, but I don't know if I like it like this. It does have a really gorgeous mid, which is what, you know, has kept me keeping this in my collection, which is beautiful. But again, that sandalwood, oh, I don't know, it's a little bit much. Now I have heard that this is one that develops over time, which is why it was in the box when you guys saw me open it in the beginning, because I've kind of just put it to the side and I'm gonna revisit it in maybe a few weeks, a few months, just to see if it's gonna do anything different over time. Now the sandalwood in this is a very distinct sandalwood. I believe there's like certain farms that invest in different raw materials, obviously to make them more sustainable over time. And I think when you smell the Zadig and Voltaire line, there is a specific sandalwood that they use. Now sadly for me, in some formulations it will give me a headache. So this is one of the ones where I can low-key start to form a headache from that sandalwood, especially if I've done too much. I'm already quite sensitive with my nose, so I don't spray a lot already. I'm not an oversprayer by any means, but particularly with this one, I kind of spray in the air and I walk into it, because the sandalwood on my skin is too, it's too strong for my nose. It's too strong and it can give me a headache. But otherwise, I do think this is a nice fragrance. I think it's one of those, I would gift this honestly for a guy more so than I would gift it for a girl, because it smells to me a lot more masculine. They do have a male's version of this, the men's version of this, which I've never smelled, so I don't know how much more masculine it is relatively speaking, but I feel like this is one that you would be able to give, you know, the significant other in your life who is a guy, and they would enjoy it, assuming they're into a creamy sweet kind of experience as well. So this is good, but just, you know, be careful, because that sandalwood can definitely, you know, get at you. So that was my first introduction. Now the next one that I purchased was actually in the same sitting, and it's this one here, which is called This Is Love. My bottle is a little bit messy right now and I don't want to show you guys because I want to have a clean bottle, but I love the packaging of this. The pink to orange to yellow is just stunning, and they do have the men's version of this, which is blue into green. I think it's stunning. It's really gorgeous. I really enjoy it. So yeah, that's it. That's the one. That's it. Really pretty. This one, I don't know what to say about this. This is kind of my fault that I don't wear this as much, but when you're buying a lot of fragrances, I think if you don't give enough attention to certain ones, they're just going to get lost in the sauce. So let me spray this one. I got this as a blind buy because obviously I'd never smelled anything from the house, and immediately I was taken aback by that ginger note, which is a very fresh ginger. If you guys cook a lot and you get like real ginger root and you kind of like, you know, cut it up and everything else, it smells very close to that authentic experience of ginger versus some of the other ones that you might find in other fragrances. Now let's see. Okay, so on Fragrantica, the main accords are powdery, vanilla, woody, warm, spicy, as voted by people. I agree with all of those, although I would put up the warm spicy a lot higher. The warm spicy and the woody would be a lot higher than powdery for me. Now the notes for this are, top note is ginger, middle notes are violet and vanilla, base note is sandalwood. Now here we go again with that sandalwood, right? It's the same sandalwood that they have in This Is Her. It's very distinct to me, very distinct to me. Now the only reason why this one comes across on my nose a little bit better is because the vanilla saves it, and that fresh top really masks that particular sandalwood that they use. So because of the vanilla and because of that ginger, I can stomach the sandalwood a little bit more. This is one of the ones that I have to wear when I'm going out, so that I'm not, you know, thinking about the sandalwood too much, or I'm not picking it up too much. And second of all, this is one that I have to spray on my clothes, again because of the sandalwood on my skin. It can get a little bit too headache inducing. However, what it actually smells like on your clothes is beautiful. The violet and the vanilla, oh my gosh, it smells so good. It smells really yummy. It's like a spicy vanilla with a like creamy, yummy, flowery kind of effect to it. I really enjoy this fragrance on clothes, not on my skin so much, but on clothes it is delightful. It also wears really well. So the times I have sprayed it on my skin, it's lasted a good few hours, you know, longer than I would want, because obviously like the sandalwood just gets to me. But we're talking about 8 hours plus, and on clothes I'm talking about next day. You know what I'm saying? You will be able to smell this. So this is a really beautiful one. I definitely would recommend this if you're into your vanilla, if you're into your spicy fragrances. This isn't a fresh one. It has a zesty top, but it's not a fresh one. People are saying that it's powdery. I don't get the whole powdery on me, but maybe your skin will pick up those powder notes. For me, this is a vanilla, spicy vanilla powerhouse with a little bit of that sharp floral. So I really enjoy this fragrance. But once again, if you're not into sandalwood, be careful with this because the sandalwood is very prominent. But otherwise, I highly recommend this. Okay, so now we move into some new additions to my collection. I've got the samples here, but I do have the full sizes as well because I went ahead and bought the full size versions, and that should tell you something. That should tell you how I feel about these fragrances. These three right here are from a collection that they released, which was along the lines of like girls can da 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 da. So this one is girls can do anything, this one is girls can say anything, and then this one here is girls can be crazy. And I was suckered into this because of that packaging, the baby pink with the sparkles. Come on, come on, come on. All right, now let's go through them bit by bit. I'll do it in order of how I actually came across them. So this is girls can do anything. All right, the main accords for this are aromatic, sweet, balsamic, warm, spicy, musky, and vanilla. As voted by everyone, they mostly said aromatic. I would turn that on its head, and for me it's mostly vanilla, musky, warm, spicy, and sweet. However, it really depends on your environment and your body chemistry, like how, you know, how you receive these fragrances. So just bear that in mind. The notes of these are, top notes are bergamot, pear, orange blossom. The heart is tonka bean, and the base is vanilla, fern, musk, and ambroxan. Let me just remind myself of this. Right, now this today, oh, I enjoy this fragrance, you guys. I enjoy this. It was love at first sniff. To me, it's very powdery. It almost smells like talcum powder, but sweetened talcum powder. The vanilla in this is not your traditional vanilla. I actually didn't even really think it was vanilla, but it's a creamy something or other. It's almost like a whipped cream kind of effect. It's really fresh. It's kind of, it reminds me of fresh linen and whipped cream and talcum powder. It's just a very clean, fresh, sweet fragrance. It is very aromatic, so you can definitely smell that there's something going on. I think there's a great mixture of flowers in here. I don't know what flowers, but usually there's some sort of floral in most fragrances, but it's just not predominant. And then that pear. Okay, so here, listen, right? So it's got bergamot, pear, and vanilla. And the nose behind this is Quentin Biche. So I was like, oh, this is so good. This is so good. Tested it on my skin. I love it. It wears phenomenally. It lasts a really long time. I smell so pretty. This is a pretty scent. I love it. So I went ahead and I got the full size, right? I was like, bet. And it comes with the body lotion as well. Cool. Now I was so intrigued, I decided to go ahead and actually get samples for the other two just to make sure that they worked. And it only occurred to me the other day. I was in a live chat with Lulu and a few other people, and we were talking about fragrance notes, and they mentioned that Quentin Biche is actually the same nose who did Delina. He also is the same nose that did Jean-Paul Gaultier Le Belle, and guess what, he's also the same man who is the nose behind all of these fragrances. It all just started to make sense. Everything started to make sense. I was like, it's Quentin. It's him. He also has done the new Angel Nova. So given that he has had his hand in the fragrances that I have in my collection, it was like, okay, of course I'm gonna have to buy the other two. Like, of course I'm gonna have to, because he has done some of my favorite fragrances. So why am I even questioning it, right? Okay, so I picked up these two samples. I got them from eBay. Now it started to just get better and better. This one here is Girls Can Say Anything, and you can see it's in the red kind of packaging, and I loved the first one. I didn't think it could get much better than the first one, but this one, you guys, right. So this one came out in 2019, and the main accords are balsamic, according to the peoples, balsamic, powdery, aromatic, floral, and vanilla. I would agree somewhat. And the top notes are iris, peony, heart note of tonka, and the base is musk, vanilla, fern, amber. So let me spray this one for you guys. Yeah, I love this one. I adore this one. This one is This one, they all kind of smell similar in terms of the Girls Can Do. They all smell very similar. It's like if you have one, you have 60% of the next one and the next one. This one to me is just a little bit more fun. There's something a little bit fruity about it to my nose. I don't know if there's any fruits, but to my nose there's something a little bit tropically in the top. It's just fun. It's kind of like, it's fun. It's fun in the top. It's kind of got that fruity element. It reminds me of being at the fun fair. Not a candy floss kind of vibe. There's just something fun about it. There is something very, very fun. Now in the mid and the dry down, it's very similar to Girls Can Do Anything, although that dries a lot more powdery on me. This one has a little bit more depth to it. This one I can pick up a lot more of that vanilla and tonka probably. It has a slightly sweet, earthy dry down on me. But it's got such a fun opening. To me, this is such a fun fragrance. It's a young and fun fragrance. Like, all of these are very young and girly. They're feminine, they're young, they're girly, they're pink, they're lighthearted. They're just not giving a damn. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, it is what it is. Very, very feminine. Very feminine. Now, if you're the kind of person who wants a little bit more complexity to your fragrances, you're not gonna find it here. They don't have like incense. They don't have your spices. They don't have that. This is a very clean, easy, simple, feminine experience, okay? I really, really, really like it. So much so that, as you can see, I went ahead and bought this in the full size as well. Now, I haven't actually opened them. I've bought them all in the full sizes and I haven't opened them because I kind of want to reserve them for winter time. I feel like that's when they'll really, really perform on my skin. So that's why they're in the boxes. But the last one that we're going to talk about that I picked up a sample for is Girl Can Be Crazy, because I was like, okay, well, I love the first two, so clearly, let me just see what this is saying. This one says a sparkling floral explosion. Yes, the head note is sparkling pear and cola accord. Heart note is wild feminine jasmine, and the base note is an addictive musky vanilla accord. And this sounds like everything that I would want in life, for sure. All right, let me spray this to remind myself. Yes, this one has the cola note. This one has that bubbly, sparkly Coca-Cola note in the top. It's so much fun. It's really sweet as well. They say that it's got a little bit of floral, but I don't know if I'm picking up the floral. And if it's there, it's like a supporting act to everything else. Let me see what Fragrantica says. Okay, so main accords for this are Coca-Cola, warm spicy, balsamic, vanilla and sweet, and I agree with that. I feel like it's more vanilla than balsamic, but sure, why not? It's pretty straightforward. You can smell the pear as well. You know, in La Belle, you see Quentin, yeah, you know, in La Belle, in the opening, there's a sharp pear kind of tart introduction. That's similar with this, and it works really well with that Coca-Cola note or the cola note. It's so much fun, you guys, so much fun. So this one does have a little bit of patchouli and musk, which on the dry down smells very clean on me. I mean, I'm even surprised that there is sandalwood, because I can't smell the sandalwood once it's on my skin, thank God. But overall, everything mixed in is so fun, and I think he nailed it. I think he nailed it with that whole approach to girls just wanting to have fun. I really think he did. I don't know how hard it must be for a guy, you know, a grown man, to try and put himself in the shoes of a young girl and create something that is very girly, because all of these fragrances are girly, all right? So this is the bottle for the Girls Can Be Crazy. I actually opened this from the what do you call it, cellophane, because I was so excited for this bottle and I wanted to keep it out, but I've actually just put it back in. So the bottle is super cute. It has the rose gold cap and then the sparkly kind of label in the center. This is the 30 ml, and it's just really, really, really pretty. Super, super pretty. So if you're a girly girl, or you know somebody who is a girly girl, I think they're gonna enjoy this fragrance. So I actually purchased all of the full-size bottles from Notino, so I'll leave the website down below, and I've picked up the first two. these ones here from All Beauty, I believe, but I'll double check and I'll confirm in the description section. Overall, I think the fragrances from this house are actually really nice. Of course, there's different collections from the house, so really it's just about determining which collection would be right for you. I don't know, this is how I feel about it, right? I think these are definitely worth the sniff. However, you definitely with this particular line have to try it on your skin, and I say that because of that sandalwood. If you are not a fan of sandalwood, I mean, I don't mind sandalwood, but the particular sandalwood that they use in the composition of these fragrances can be a little bit too much. Now I am gonna wait to see what this does over time, and like I said with This Is Love, I feel like this is a really gorgeous fragrance because the sandalwood is overshadowed by everything else, so you can actually just ignore the sandalwood for the most part. So I would recommend this, but I would highly suggest you get samples first and test them on your skin to make sure. Now with the Girls Can Do Anything line, I get it, it's not for everyone. This is kind of, it's, I don't want to say generic, but it's easy, you know what I mean? It's not gonna be, it's not Labelle, even though Labelle is super easy, okay? It's kind of more of your like Fancy by Jessica Simpson. They're not complex, you know, but you don't always need complex. You just don't. Sometimes you just want something that's lighthearted and fun. I feel like this could easily be fragrances that you just wear every day because you don't have to think about it too hard. They literally just work. They smell good and you just wear them, and that's it. If I was to rank them, I would say this red one is my favorite for wearing every day. Then Girls Can Be Crazy comes in at number 2, and then Girls Can Do Anything comes in at number 3. I mean, I like them all, but that's just my preference of how I would wear them, and I really do like them, you guys. I really do. Now, hey, I don't know, I also like Delina, and I also like Cassidy, and I also like Killian. So I've got, you know, I've got my bouginess in me, and I've also got my like standard, normal, easygoing kind of fragrances. I definitely would recommend them. The Girls Can Do Anything line, if you like fragrances like I like fragrances, especially the creamy, sweet, young kind of vibe, definitely get your hands on a sample if you can, because I think they're really pleasant, and I feel like if you're a girly girl like me, you're gonna really enjoy them.